underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
What's up, everybody? How? I need a sip of coffee.
You want to do it again?
No. This is how we do podcasts.
All right,
it's a conversational
Let's
podcast.
go.
It's one of those things where I started to talk, and I immediately felt like I had too much water in my mouth. You ever do that? And I knew. Yeah. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 160. I'm your host, Greg Miller, alongside the guides guru, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
And that's the show. Let's just... I'm sorry. We also have the traitorous Ryan Clements.
Traitorous.
How did all your Kinect reviews go last night?
They went really well.
8.0.
I was.
Did you give an 8.0?
Yeah, I dished out an 8.0 for Dance Central.
Kung Fu Rider got a 2.5 or something like that.
I also dished out 2 games in the 6s yesterday as well. So not always fun in Kinect land.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Podcast Beyond again, like we said. Welcome new listeners. If you're just joining us, we're giving away LittleBigPlanet 2 beta codes today, so I'm sure there's a whole bunch of very mean people listening who want to
Make sure to be as mean as possible so I can come into the comments and scold you.
We'll be giving them away throughout the show, as well as on the article on IGN.com, which is where you should read, but we'll get to that later. Regular listeners, welcome as always. Ryan.
Yeah.
You reviewed a bunch of Kinect stuff last night. How did it go? Do you like the Kinect? I've only been able to see you play it. I haven't sat down and done anything with it. I stood up and done anything with it.
Wait, you've seen it all. It was one of those moments where I had another proud kind of late night in the office. When it happens on occasion, it feels good, and I like being there late and working hard. And we just made our deadline. I think we did phenomenally. We posted the majority of our Kinect coverage at 9 p.m. Pacific time last night. And I reviewed Dance Central, Kinect Adventures, and Kinect Joyride. And so far from what I've seen, the good games of Kinect are good, and the bad games with Kinect are bad. I mean, that's all it boils down to. The technology works well. In terms of, it's cool to have your entire body tracked, and it'll be interesting to see how it is intelligently designed. Just like PlayStation Move, the potential is there, and it's up to the developers to unlock it and show us exactly what they can do. I will say that in terms of traditional gaming experiences, PlayStation Move is obviously going to be infinitely more accurate. It's just more accurate than Kinect is, and Kinect messes up a lot. But when it works, I think it works.
And yet Kung Fu Rider.
Kung Fu Rider was not meant to be.
Jonathan chimes in here from a upcoming reader mail section.
Okay.
And he says, just a quick question for you guys. What do you think the sales are going to be like for Kinect and PlayStation Move? Which will sell more? Ryan, you are the expert, as you've played lots of both.
Yes, but I'm not an expert in terms of finances.
Well, I don't want a hard number. I mean, personally, I think after what I've seen, I think Kinect's going to sell more. I think Kinect's a newer, crazier experience where people are going to look at that. And it doesn't matter that Joyride doesn't control that well and doesn't corner all that great. You know what I mean? They're going to look at it and go, oh, man, it's kind of got that Wii factor, right? Of like, early adopters are going to buy it, take it home. My mom's going to come over, see that, and be like, "Oh, I love jumping in rafts and crap."
I think in raw technology they're equal because PlayStation Move and Kinect are doing different things, but they're doing cool things. There's a dead bug on my keyboard.
This room is getting disgusting.
I know, it really is.
Of course, we say this and never clean it ourselves. That's
I'm not cleaning this room.
All right, so you want to see the maid tonight? You want me to tell her, hey?
No, you don't have to tell. I think I just think, when I come into this room, I have papers, or whatever. I take them, or my food, or whatever. I throw it out. Yeah. If everyone just kind of kept after themselves, then we wouldn't
get rid of the bugs they eat during voice chat. Yeah.
But anyway, in terms of sales, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I think we can all agree that Kinect has a sort of appeal that the PlayStation Move does not have. The PlayStation Move is sort of an enhanced, but it's still a sort of a Wii controller,
It's not something you look at and go, that's brand new.
Right.
So even somebody who's not into games looks at it, oh, isn't that kind of like, oh, it's way more precise than the Wii, cool, but...
It's still like the Wii.
Yeah.
Whereas Kinect is like, they kind of, especially the marketing they've sort of put behind it, like this is like the new 360, this is the new experience. You are the controller.
Am I really?
Yes.
Colin, you want to chime in? You think Kinect? What do you think here?
I was talking about this with Mark Ryan actually a little bit. I think Kinect will obviously do well and has been doing well during its first day or whatever. I mean, I know that it's hot. Well, I know that people have been going.
The numbers are in early, and they're just.
Well, people have been posting that they've been going to stores, and if you don't have a pre-order, it's really hard to find one and stuff like that. But I think, and they obviously have this, an interesting way of going about. Appealing to certain kinds of gamers by being on Oprah and having it on Ellen or whatever, and then the whole 500. What?
Didn't tempo it at 40, did you?
No.
Happens.
I forgot.
It's okay.
I think we should still probably have plenty of time.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Way to go, Clements.
My bad.
But the $500 million ad push is obviously really intriguing and stuff like that. But and I think it'll do well initially. But I just really can't imagine that that Kinect's going to do well long term. It's just the fact of the matter is that you can't play certain core genres on the Kinect. There's no way to do it, and unless you have a controller in your hand, and then in which case it's become a PlayStation Eye, and that's.
But at what point does that not matter? Because that's not what they're going for.
I think it does matter, though, because I think what you found with Wii is that, it hooked people in initially, and now no one cares about the Wii because there's
True.
nothing to play on it.
True, but this one went a different direction. This one, instead of what we did, where it was like, hey, we're a system for everybody, and then try to be, well, hold on, don't go away, hardcore gamers. 360 clearly that's their thing, and this is totally just an add-on. Yeah, hey, if you want to get this and jump around, go ahead.
It is an add-on, but that's the point. It's like the core audience, like, what are they looking to play on this? Maybe Child of Eden or something like that. Yeah. I really don't, and like maybe Steel Battalion. But when you look at like all the other games, like what the hell are you going to play on this thing or whatever? So yeah. I think it's interesting. It's very cool, and like I wish that we had something similar where we can talk to our PlayStation and move our hands around, stuff like that for menus and stuff like that. But I don't think like I've said it a million times. Like people want to play games with controllers. Yeah. The Wiimote has proven that people want to play with controllers because now all the Wii games, including even the Conduit 2, uses a controller. You don't have to use the Wiimote anymore. The same thing with GoldenEye and all that stuff. That's like really the proof's in the pudding, And Move's doing okay, but people want to play with the DualShock, and I really think people want to play with that clumsy Xbox controller too.
Okay, here's my point, and I think I've spoken to this also. I agree with you for now. But I think that, say the Kinect evolved like 3 or 4 generations to the point of where it can sense like even like subtle twitches in your fingertips. You can have like a virtual like interface where it's like extreme precision to the point of being like comparable with like an analog device. Then I'd say that you can play a hardcore game on Kinect.
Sure, I mean that's
Kinect 5.
But let's look. I mean, let's look at that. Like Kinect. Clearly, I was watching. I'm not like a tech person or whatever, but I was watching Scott Lowe's review on Kinect or whatever. Yeah. What he said was that they took components out of the Kinect to make it even more affordable, like things that would have made the Kinect better.
There's processors in there and stuff.
Yeah, and right? Like better motion tracking and stuff like that, or whatever. And like the thing is still heinously expensive, $150. And if you have something like that, which would require like an insane NASA technology, then how much?
Not necessarily.
But how much is something? The point is how much is something like that going to cost? The Kinect bundle with Xbox, if you don't have an Xbox, is $300. That's affordable because that's the same price as a Slim right now with nothing except for a DualShock. But I think people are going to impulsively buy, just like we all impulsively bought the Wii. And again, like the proof was in the pudding with how the Wii is looked at and how the Wii is played now. I think the same will happen with Kinect, and we'll see. The cool thing about Move, like I don't think Move's going to be commercially viable either. And we talked about this even in E3. I think they're both going to sell poorly, and ultimately, and it just depends on which is going to sell worse. But the Move is more innately intertwined with more core, especially first-person shooter genres and stuff like that. You can play a shooter, you can play an action game, you can do all sorts of things with Move. So I just think, in other words, what I'm saying is that you need the core.
All we do is argue on this show. I like this.
Well, I'm saying all you need is the core. Like you have to bring the core back in. Without the core, nothing happens. And all I have to say is, the Wii has sold 1 million units, and obviously, a lot more than 1 million, but a bunch of units. 70 million or whatever it's up to, and. But who really cares about it?
Well,
who's buying software for it?
Keep in mind that when I'm talking about that advanced Kinect technology that's like down the line, that is for the core, and the core would be the ones that would want to spend that much money on technology.
Okay, but
so that's why that would be interesting.
I don't disagree with that, but again, like there needs to be a segue like between here and there, And if Kinect isn't doing anything. And it's going to make money, and I'm sure it's going to do well. And I think their 5 million unit estimate is ridiculous, but we'll totally see on if they're right or wrong about it. But in the meantime, there needs to be a stepping stone in between like the technology now and the technology in the future. And if no one is really compelled by Kinect because there are no core games and it doesn't really work as well as they say it does, then why is someone going to buy the next version of Kinect that doesn't do what you do, that doesn't say what you want it to do yet, but does something better, and so on and so forth? If that makes any sense, there needs to be stepping stones in order to get there. I think Sony took definitely a safe route. And again, like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like maybe I'm just old school, whatever. But next generation will be playing with controllers. The generation after that will be playing with controllers. And what those controllers do and what they look like. Of course, it might differ. But I really just think that's the fundamental thing that's never changed in gaming ever. Since the Atari, since Coleco, keyboard or controller.
Yeah, but
since
I'm sure,
the 70s.
Well, keep in mind, I'm sure we always thought that we would have like a cartridge, to plug into our systems. I mean, things change. Things change that we can't really predict. But I mean, yeah, I just think that we'll always play. I mean, there will always be controller options, but I think next generation, yes, there will be controllers. The generation after that, like 2 generations ahead, I don't know. Maybe we'll have a controller peripheral, but it's like that's become the side option, and the main option is the motion.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long you want to go. I just don't see.
No,
like,
I mean that's the problem. We could go all day long.
I
mean, the core of it is I think Xbox is going in just right. They already have the core gamer now. They're just trying to get the moms. I think they're going to be more successful at doing that than PlayStation is, which is saying, here's this device we're trying to shoehorn into hardcore games that people are going, well, we didn't like 6-axis it all much. I don't know if I want to. I don't think Move will. I think it'll be around next generation for PlayStation 4, but I don't think it'll be a requirement. I don't think it's going to be. And this is all, a month out of the launch. You know what I mean? Like, we have no effing idea. I'm sure.
Greg Miller checked his watch.
200. I don't know. Podcast Beyond 275. Jack DeVries, the host, will be on here telling you how we were all wrong, and some kid will write in. But
I don't know. I just don't think. I don't know, because it's just like, for the way a game, like for the fundamental way a game is played, or whatever, for that to change in an overarching way, it means that why we play games must also change. And I just don't think that latter reason is ever going to change. You want to play game, you want to sit on your couch, you want to sink into your couch, you want to sit in front of a TV, and you want to play a game. You don't want to, Dance Central looks cool, and like that's probably a fun game to play, but do you want to play every game like that? You know what I mean? Or do you really just want to sit? And so like that also needs to change. It's not only about technology, it's about telling gamers that have been playing for their whole lives since the 70s and 80s that like the way you play a game with a controller is not going to be the way you play a game in 10 years. It's like, what are you talking about? Because like I don't want to play a game any other way than with a controller. That's a freaking video
they're
game.
coming up with different genres, right? I mean, that was the interesting thing about all the video reviews and watching Clements do Dance Central is how exhausting the Kinect game is. Jack in his video review for Kinectimals is like, this game is exhausting. You don't want to play it for longer than a certain amount of time, which was an interesting look at it.
Yeah, for sure.
But we've talked enough about Xbox.
Yes.
If you're one of those...
We looped in Move also.
No, we did a great job. This has been good. This was a good pre-topic of the week, topic of the week. If you're a core gamer and you like playing games with your controller, you should probably like LittleBigPlanet 2, which is coming out next year. I have a beta code for you to get in right now and try it out. It's a 7H4L, 32N6, 3G, 5H. So enjoy that. Go help Media Molecule make their game. So let's start the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Clements, Ramblin' Ryan, Role-Playing Ryan, he's gone out and he has gathered the news. Are there jokes embedded in the Roper Report?
There are.
All right, good.
Now, here's a new rule that I feel like you may have broken a little bit last time.
What's that?
Did you read ahead at all?
I did not.
Okay.
Well,
it looked like you were kind of
I read ahead
a
for
little
topics. I don't read the question. I'm queuing in for a game. Oh, GT5. Oh, LittleBigPlanet.
Okay,
I'm trying to see where I want to go logically and then cross off the bull
Gotcha.
S.
I want there to be a little spontaneity to my terrible jokes.
You got it.
All right.
Also, heads up, we're not going to dwell on this. We asked last week if you wanted us to keep cursing on the podcast. Overwhelmingly, you do. We're going to stay explicit. Again, we're not going to beat you over the head with it like TRL. We're not going out of our way to be explicit.
Not at
Just
all.
when we screw up, we can, blah, blah. The one I like the most is a lot of people were commenting along the lines of, I like it because you sound like my friends. Gambit03 wrote in, Beyond just wanted to put my vote for cussing in the podcast. I enjoy it better when it sounds like me and my friends sitting around discussing video games.
Yeah,
I think that's why we want the option to curse is because it's natural.
Yeah.
It's hard to be on the verge of saying something and then pull back.
Yep.
Yada, yada, yada.
And I'd also like to say that I think the three of us are pretty reasonable with our language, and we don't have we don't talk like a sailor, as the old expression goes.
I think I have a tendency
curse
once
like
in a while, but
no,
talk like a sailor.
Yeah.
Oh, the waves are harsh today.
Yeah, and I do want to apologize for people that really are offended by cursing or whatever, but it's just like we got a lot of responses and it was overwhelming in terms of cursing. Whatever, we're not, there's degrees of cursing. Like the F-bomb is not the same as shit. Right. You know what I mean? And I mean, like, you shouldn't really be offended by the word shit. So I just said it twice.
Probably shouldn't be offended. Whatever. We're not going to get into this game where we start debating language. Let's get down to what Ryan Clements calls some serious business.
Okay.
PS3 sales reported and things look good, though PSP sales are grim in comparison. From Jim's article, Sony today revealed its second quarter 2010 fiscal year results. As a whole, the company posted a net income of $385 million, a significant jump from the $327 million loss that occurred during the same time in fiscal 2009.
Yes.
For the quarter, Sony sold 3.5 million PS3s worldwide. But things aren't, or as Ryan writes, aren't so good for PSP. This changes everything. Sales this quarter for the portable were down 50% from the prior quarter last year, while the software sales declined year over year from 13 million to 11 million.
It's not really surprising.
Ouch. Well, it's interesting that the games didn't decline as much.
Well, but it is really. I mean, it's great to see that gigantic change in their overall, sales. Or sorry, the overall revenue. Is that the term?
Yeah,
I'm really bad with financial terms.
Their financial health is definitely a lot better now, which is cool.
Yeah, you want to see the net income.
Net income. That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was going for.
No surprise, that the PSP is tanking, right? I mean, or the sales dropping off. They've put out 1 million iterations of that thing. I would hope if you have one, if you're into PSP, you should have one by now, right?
Right.
And the Go was not a success. It was not well received. Not to mention that I wonder how these numbers are factored in. I read Jim's report when it first came out, but that was decades ago in terms of IGN articles, so I can't remember if that was from Sony or NPD or something, because I don't know if that includes digital downloads then, which would be interesting, because I know that's something we talk about now. Kingdom Hearts was a really great selling PSP game according to NPD numbers. Of course, it didn't come out at all on digital downloads, so maybe you can't compare it to
I want to say, do you mean in this particular article that I'm referencing?
Is this straight from Sony?
I feel like it was from Sony, and I don't remember NPD, but I'm not entirely positive.
Okay.
I apologize.
No, that's fine. You did good. You did good.
That was like the kind of boring story of all
I know, but it was. Yeah. I think I'm scanning just titles here. That was one of the bigger ones. I thought that was an interesting one.
Okay.
Colin.
Yes.
Are you gonna buy PSP finally and help him out here?
No, I have a PSP.
Yeah, but it's hacked and you can't play any real games on it.
That's true.
Okay. Colin, I got bad news for you. Mega Man creator Kenji Inafune. I know his last name.
KG
Inafune. I've talked to this man. Very nice guy. Helped us out with that Dead Rising bit where I made fun of his game, but whatever. He's leaving Capcom after 23 years of employment.
Yeah.
Colin, are you mad? This might mean that the next Mega Man game is different and new and cool.
There's a lot of different Mega Man games. It's sad just because he was, I really feel like, becoming the heart and soul of Capcom or whatever. And
well, he thought he was just becoming a figurehead. That's what he said.
The point is that he's the man who really sees, and I'm sure other people see it there, but maybe they're just quiet. He sees that, what we've talked about is that the Japanese industry is like languishing. And I think that the good news is that this man can work anywhere he wants. Anywhere. And when I'm really excited for the possibilities of he has an affinity for Western games. That's really clear. A lot of the games that he's been developing have been Western and Western style games. And even something like Lost Planet 2 where he's like it turned into something too Japanese. I mean, this guy definitely has something against like the gaming industry in his own country. So I think the exciting thing is that he can end up here. Or he can end up
at IGN.
No, not IGN. In the States.
Whoa.
Or he can, it would be awesome to have him at, just throwing names out there. Go up to Edmonton and go to BioWare. Go
Halo. Give me a new Halo.
Yeah, go to Bungie. Or whoever's doing that now. Or go to Europe and work for one of the European houses or whatever. I feel like he's going to end up somewhere outside of Japan, and I think that's pretty exciting because he's really, really important.
Or it could be kind of like what happened with Shinji Mikami recently, where has his own Japanese studio, but now they're linked in with ZeniMax, the Bethesda, right?
And,
parent company.
Gotcha.
So,
that'd be interesting.
That's exciting. That's exciting because I feel like he's going to use the Rage engine on something rad.
Oh, the Mikami?
Yeah.
Here's a little story I got from Ryan Clements about a game that I'm very surprisingly excited for, which I was not expecting. I've been this end of the year coming up. I've been like, what do I want to play?
Monopoly Streets.
I played Monopoly Streets a little bit for your capture. I will play that. We should play some online matches.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. We can actually boost probably together. Do we have 2 copies of it?
No, but I can.
I actually do like Monopoly. Even though I was teasing you about it, I do like Monopoly.
That's a cool game.
I mean, yeah.
There's one trophy, a gold trophy for winning 50 online auctions, and I don't think I can get that organically, but we could probably help each other.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Right. Get that organically.
The PS3 version of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is getting exclusive DLC titled The Copernicus.
The Copernicus.
Hold on. I can do this. This. Titled The Copernicus Conspiracy.
Yes.
It will be free and available at the game's launch on November 16th. It includes additional missions as well as a PDF explaining why Italian people are so attractive. That was a good one. That was a good joke, right?
There you go. I'm staring it off.
When I played Brotherhood at pre-E3 and E3 and all that jazz, it was just the multiplayer stuff, and I was like, I'm not a multiplayer gamer. I'm not looking forward to this. But then I've been walking by. Mark Ryan's working on the guide already. I walk by, I look at his he's always playing single player. It looks like more single player. I want to play that. Sure, why not? Sign me up for that. Mm-hmm. And it looks, let's just say, interesting. Some stuff's happening on that screen I want to know about.
Yeah.
Because I invested enough time in the first one.
Yeah, you did.
The second one.
Yeah, you did.
Anybody else excited for this one at all?
No, not at all.
I mean, I still never played the second one.
It was good.
I never played the first one.
I never played the first one either. Well, I played it, but I fell out of it. Number 2, I platinumed. I thought it was a great game. I didn't think it was Game of the Year caliber. That's why I had to go on a bandwagon back in the day and get people mad. Colin.
Yeah.
I noticed you hate games now.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to Assassin's Creed.
No.
Yesterday I said you said, hey, got any games I can take home? I said, well, I just got Star Wars Force Unleashed 2, but I'm taking that home tonight. And you said, wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, I wouldn't. The first
what are you
one.
talking about?
I didn't like the first one.
What did you hate? What didn't you like about it?
I don't know. It's just kind
Well,
of.
the second one isn't supposed to be even very good.
It's not great. No, Anthony gave it a 6.5. It's short. I beat it last night. I took it home, sat down, and beat it. So
Really?
Yeah, got both endings too.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like a 4.5. It's between 4 and 5 hours depending on what you do.
Well, I'm busy with the Legend of the Guardian or whatever.
Oh, the Owl game.
The Owl
Just
game.
call it the Owl game.
The Owl
Are
game.
you platinuming that?
The Guardians of Kahoot.
I want to. I played it for like 20 minutes last night, and I'm like, man, this game sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna see what I can do with it, and because there's nothing super compelling to play for me to play.
That's why I thought, and that's why. What about Costume Quest? Did you play Costume Quest?
No.
Dude,
I wanna play that.
Costume Quest is awesome.
Is it?
I played that over the weekend. Granted, it was Halloween. I wanted to play a Halloween game. I downloaded that. Steimer gave it a 7.5, and I'd probably agree with that. I might have given it an 8. Like, I don't know. But because some of the presentation isn't that dynamite. There's no voice to it. It's just reading the jokes. It's funny. It's cute. It's fast. You can 100%ed it. Like, and not that that's a big deal, but I like.
It's a good feeling.
As bogged down as we are with reviews right now, that when we get time to sit in there and play something for fun, I enjoy an experience I can wrap up. You know what I mean? I love Undead Nightmare, and it's been limping on for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, put in an hour here, still not done. Okay, well, I'm going to go back to playing this game for review and write this and play that, and then I come back, I'm still another hour. It's like, I like completing things. You know, I like cutting them off.
Right.
But, yeah. Before I get off my soapbox, Costume Quest, a lot of fun, really funny, good stuff to do, good trophies. Be on the lookout. I mean, it's a Halloween-themed game. I got to imagine that's getting a PSN Plus discount going on the holiday sale soon. If you haven't bought it yet, hold out for the drop because it's $15, but it'll be.
That's
done
the thing I'm saying. Like I'd buy it for 10. I can't. The game has to be really like when I bought Trine for $15, and then these games for $15. Like, come on. Like,
tune in next week. I'm gonna see if I can get some Costume Quest codes. I like that game enough to try to pass it on.
There you go.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Man,
What
that's
do you
nice. If you can get me one, that would be great.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know if it's still discounted, but that Alien Breed game kind of looked interesting.
Yeah, Damon's been playing that. I don't know.
And I don't know. My PlayStation's
Horde is out. Horde is really good.
Horde. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't downloaded anything in a while. There's like a few games I have to go back and play. See, this is the thing that I was afraid about. We were talking about this when we got letters about it, is that I'm kind of wary about downloading too many games now because we don't know when they're going to get discounted. And since there's no retroactivity with discounts, which would be cool and a nice thing to do. I'm kind of like, maybe Costume Quest will go to discount, maybe this will go to discount. Although we do know now that Shatter is going to be free game.
Free, yeah, for PlayStation.
I printed out the PlayStation Plus
That is
update.
huge. If you guys, for some strange reason,
have not listened to Colin or me,
bought that game yet, well, you get to play it for free if you're a PlayStation Plus member, and it's still the best game on PlayStation 4.
It's quite good. Good news. Jalopnik?
I want to say Jalopnik.
Jalopnik is a car blog.
Yeah, that's
owned by the
Jalopnik.
same family that owns Kotaku.
Okay. Anyways, they reported that Kazunori, creator of Gran Turismo, I didn't even try to say his last name.
It's totally fine.
I always say Kazunori.
Yamoichi.
I've never talked to anyone, and I've talked to the man himself, and I've never heard anyone call him by his full name. He's like Cher. Oh, Kazunori's over here. You want to talk to him?
Yeah.
Yes, I do want to talk to Kazunori.
Yes.
How you doing, sir? I hear you like cars.
Yeah?
Is the Ecto 1 in Gran Turismo 5? No? All right. I'm done with my questions. I'll see you later.
Take care.
He has announced, or claimed at least, that GT5 discs are currently being pressed. This leads us to believe the game will very likely meet its due date at the end of this year. Somebody wrote in and called me a liar, because I guess on some podcast forever ago I said it wasn't coming out this year.
I think I said that too.
Yeah, you have. Well, you've said it since the delay got announced.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. We're at the finish line here. Something's going to happen soon. Ending this story, Chris Roper's Chi level is now spiked.
Chi level.
Chi level. Sorry.
That's just a little reference for any like Naruto or DBZ.
I've
fans.
reviewed a lot of Naruto games.
Right.
They never announce what it is. It's always just on the screen. Sorry, and I'm stupid.
Do you know what Chi is?
I know in Naruto, yeah, I build it up to do special moves, and I can do my sexy ninjutsu with it.
It is
like your
actually
essence,
like
your,
a thing. It's like the spirit, sort of energy, like the soul energy of a person, and it flows through the body. And that's actually one of very. I don't know where it originated. I want to say it was Chinese origin, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But it's very prominent in Chinese culture also.
Interesting.
Yes.
Chris Roper, of course. Namesake of the Roper Report, founder of Podcast Beyond.
Yes.
He's been a fun one to watch as all this Gran Turismo is going down. You can find him
the
at
Twitters?
Yeah, Chris_Roper on there. All these great tweets about it. And then the other day he posted one that I retweeted that was an animated GIF, and it was I don't know what this is, but I approve of it. And I opened it, and it's a dance. It's like a giant guy in a bear suit playing. It's black and white, bearsuit guy playing violin, and then a Mickey Mouse on the ground, like
Kinda
whacked
like-
out of his mind on acid. It was awesome. It was so good.
Oh, it was very good.
You can go to mine, Game Over Greg, and see that if you want.
Yes. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about changing my Twitter name one more time.
How many followers do you have? Sounds like you're Plum Cider right now, which
Well,
of
no,
course
but-
is an inside joke.
But what I'm saying is I can change I think I can change my name, but it just keeps all of your followers.
Yeah, I think it does.
You change the name of your
think that's
account.
true.
I did it already, and I kept all my followers.
okay.
What I'm wondering is, it was originally, but before I had any followers, it was Ryan D. Clements, and it was just too many characters. There it is. Then I changed it to something shorter, and it had personality. But I feel like it's just not clicking with anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about changing it one more time, but I feel like I don't want to annoy people. That's the
I
problem.
don't think it annoys anyone.
It's your prerogative.
Yeah.
What do you want to change it to?
Colin's no taxation on Twitter. We've announced all our Twitters we should do.
The name that I always use, 7 Winters, which I don't know why I just didn't use it.
That's
for
even
this
more
too.
vague. I like Plum Cider more than 7 Winters.
7 Winters is easy to say and it's easy to remember,
Plum
though.
Cider's fun. I would drink it.
I don't even drink hard cider anymore.
I know you finally switched to beer. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
A Blue
Really?
Moon.
Well,
Yeah.
certain
That's
beers,
exciting.
A
yeah.
Blue Moon. What else are you drinking?
Mainly just Blue Moon.
All right, everybody send us some Blue Moon because I love Blue Moon.
The seasonal Blue Moon blends are awesome.
Yeah.
Like Harvest Moon, the pumpkin one was super good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
That was an abrupt stop. Darksiders 2 has been pushed back to THQ's 2013 fiscal year, which actually begins on April 1st, 2012. Looks like even the Horsemen of the Apocalypse obey company business models. Well played. Well played. Speaking of Darksiders, Ryan, fill some time for a second. I was hoping you'd have sorry. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Our good friend Ford writes, and he says, "What's the sleeper hit of 2010? Personally, I feel that Darksiders was an awesome game, but didn't get the attention it deserved due to its, other releases around it. And as a result, many people I know didn't play that. That's my pick. Colin, sleeper hit of 2010. What do you got?
Probably Castlevania
Okay.
or Heavy Rain.
There's no, Heavy Rain wasn't a sleeper hit.
Yeah, it was because like most people didn't, even on PlayStation 3 didn't play, and if you don't have a PlayStation 3, you can't.
Well,
Not a lot
I
of
still
people-
say that Just Cause and Bayonetta were very underappreciated. But that's just my opinion. Both games are have had extreme mixed reactions from the people that play them.
I'll say Costume Quest because it's on my mind. And anything on PSP. Valkyria Chronicles 2.
anything on PSP, even
Metal Gear Solid. What do you got for me? What do you
even Megamind the Blue Defender.
No. Any of the good games on PSP.
Wait, Megamind's like the Will Ferrell CG
Yeah,
movie?
it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a whole bunch of games coming out. But we'll get to that. That's a peek ahead here. Don't care. Shadow of the Colossus takes the #1 spot on IGN's top 100 PS2 games. Mark Ryan responds with a nude victory lap around the office.
We'll be getting trophies in that soon enough.
Colin,
Yes.
IGN's top 100 PS2 games.
Yeah.
Right? You did not like this
Awful.
pick at all, by the way. I've been running polls on the PS3 channel, PSP, and PS2, what people thought.
Yeah.
Were we right on? Were we okay? Did we suck? I'll have you know the majority of people are on the positive side.
Really?
Saying we did fine.
Lots
Lots of comments saying good list. Lots of people, don't get me wrong, there was a Beyond email today, no Persona 4. No, Persona 3 was a better game. Sorry, get over it.
I don't agree, or rather, I do agree with like where the list ends up. You
Yeah.
know? I just
But
think
getting there you don't like.
Yeah, like it's not awful. I was kidding, but it's because readers and listeners, I was busting Greg's balls about the list like for some time or whatever.
I like how Colin's on the inside of the Greg Miller ecosphere. He knows me fairly well. But he doesn't know when to leave me the F alone. Like, the day the list went live, I've got a million projects out my ass. I'm trying to coordinate 100 write-ups, proofreading, making sure all the bullet points are in the same tense, and I get, I am from going, it's garbage, man, it's garbage. I'm going to go over there and beat the living shit out of you in about 10 minutes if you don't shut up. I didn't even respond. I was so angry. I was fuming. Clements could see the waves coming off my head.
This big sweat droplet.
There were just some omissions that I like, especially the Onimusha games. I thought really got snubbed, and that was a problem for me. That was the only reason I really didn't like the list.
Yeah,
actually.
because the games you like the most didn't make it. I understand.
Yeah, it's just like Onimusha 1, 2, and 4 are really really good games. Probably better than 2/3 of that list at least.
And 3 is what made it.
2 is what made it.
Oh, 2 made it?
Three
Okay, sorry.
doesn't. 3 sucks.
Okay, sorry.
3's the one with guns and all that shit. But I don't know. It's a cool list. It's it's always hard to do something like that. Like I was intimately involved with the top 100 NES games of all time, which I thought was a really good list.
Yeah.
Like really good list, but people, some people didn't like it. Whatever. You
Well,
can't
that's-
please,
yeah,
you
you're
can't
not gonna
please
be able to
everyone.
do-
So
nail it.
I didn't mean to offend you. I
Okay.
was just really just busting your balls. I wasn't trying to.
Okay.
be a dick.
Rounding out the Roper Report, 2 quick things here just to get through them. EA CEO John Riccitiello announced the earning call Medal of Honor has outperformed expectations, selling 2 million copies. Arthur Gies shrugged unenthusiastically in response before listening to sweet metal music.
Yep. I don't get that, man. I get it because it's a Medal of Honor game, and I'm a huge Medal of Honor fan, but that game sucks. I mean,
yeah, but nobody knows. It's a pre-order. You look at it, and not to mention, this is a great example of preview coverage not matching up in the end. We all played multiplayer. Even I played multiplayer at EA's Studio Showcase event. And said, this is fun. This actually is cool. Blah 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 blah. And then we get to the review, and it's a 6 or 6.5.
6.
It's passable. We'll just say. And you don't know what the single player is going to pan out like. You don't know how multiplayer is going to run, so on and so forth. We don't ever mean to lead you astray, listener. It's just that you play something, you're in a very confined context of what you're getting. Right. And you never know.
The campaign just really is really bad.
And then finally, Kane and Lynch developer IO Interactive has more layoffs. The Danish company has been reported to have let go 30 more developers. No joke here, as it's a serious matter, says Ryan Clements. Niels Jorgensen said in an official statement, "This is a natural part of any studio's existence when you ramp up and ramp down on projects to ensure that you have the right level of resource and expertise within the studio." Sorry.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Too bad, too, by the way. Kane Lynch 2 sucked. This is coming from somebody who liked number 1. And it's another game that I review with this. We always talk about exploring our review scale, right? And that even if a game gets a 7, it's not bad. I enjoyed Kane Lynch. Still thought it was a 7. Enjoyed that game. Thought it was a cool story. And I tried to play 2 and couldn't get past the second chapter. I was like, this is garbage. I don't want to play this. So
that doesn't surprise me. I mean, I didn't play either of them. Just looking at video and stuff like that, and these 2 characters, these are the most uninteresting douchebag characters. I don't understand why. It tries to almost go with in my opinion, the appeal of Army of 2 is the douchebag characters. But I liked Salem and Rio. You
only liked it because it was Nathan Drake.
Was it?
Yep.
I didn't even make that connection. I like that game though. So.
All right, cool. Yeah. That's it. Colin.
Yeah.
You don't like any games that are coming out.
No, I don't like anything
But
anymore.
if you needed to know
you turned into Mark Ryan.
What you hate. You're like, you wake up in the morning like, man, I need to hate on some games that are coming out right now.
What I hate most.
Where would you go to find the newest games to hate?
You go to the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
I was hoping for metal.
Yeah, sick. Games coming out your ass. You got to do the death metal
Go.
Okay, I'll start with PS2.
Good.
Toy Story 3 is finally coming out on PS2. I have no idea.
And it's in a bundle. So if you don't have a PS2 and you want to get a PS2 and Toy Story 3, the game, there you go. Yep.
Who the hell is buying PlayStation 2 bundles?
I don't know, man.
That's strange.
You got to Kinect? No, sold that. Give me a PS2 and a Toy Story 3.
And Pro Evolution 11 Soccer is coming out on PS2.
Boom.
PSP, there's a lot of games. Ghost of Sparta.
Yes, awesome. 9.5. Nicole gave it. I've been playing it. I like it quite a bit. It's definitely super pretty. It's more God of War. More story of why he's so angry, which is interesting.
I wrote here Ghost of Sparata.
Sparata.
Good enough.
iPad.
Yeah. Nicole has another Nicole Tanner review. She's working on that right now. We got that late.
A new Ys game, The Oath of Felghana.
Yep.
I guess.
I thought it was Felgaia. Is it Felghana?
Yeah, well, it
might be
said
Felghana.
Felghan.
Yes, you're right.
Clements, you reviewing that one?
I don't know. I haven't been assigned it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every day they ask me if we've reviewed it yet. I'm like, no, we're kind of busy. I'm sorry.
Archer. This one's interesting. Archer McLean's Mercury and Mercury Meltdown, 2 games in 1.
Oh. Mercury and Mercury Meltdown were both good games.
All right, then.
But they've been out for a while.
Yeah.
Now, this one's called No Heroes Allowed. And I say that because it has an exclamation point now.
You know what this is? The sequel, or it's 2, whatever. This is the 3rd in the Batman trilogy, I guess.
Batman trilogy.
They just keep pumping these things out.
I don't get it. I don't get how they do it.
And they change the name every time, too.
Yeah.
What was the last one? It was Batman. What have I done to do this, my lord?
No. The very first one was called Holy Invasion of Privacy Batman. What have I done to what did I do to deserve this? The second one was I don't know. I forgot.
I think the second one was What Did I Do to Deserve This?
No. That was the subtitle of the first one.
But that one came out like 6 months ago, didn't it?
Yeah, it's been fast.
Anyway,
we were in this office. Anthony reviewed it in this office.
No Heroes Allowed, I think, is a good title.
Yeah,
I think that has more. That's catchier and it's easier. And
but if it wasn't for the little vampire sprite, I'd have no idea these things were all related.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Okay.
There's more.
I know.
Megamind, the Blue Defender. We had already mentioned.
We won't be reviewing this one.
ZHP on Losing Ranger versus Dark Death Evil Man.
Oh, did that come out this week? I thought it was last week.
I think it was last week.
This was on GameStop.com. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it was. We didn't. I don't think we mentioned it last week.
Heads up, it's still coming out in ZHP.
Yeah, ZHP.
Well, maybe we did.
Well, I know we roll our eyes at it a little bit, but I mean, it's from NIS, and it's supposed to be sort of the spiritual successor to Disgaea. It looked like they put a lot of effort into it. I haven't played it myself, so I can't give it an endorsement or a critique. But, I mean, from everything that I saw, like trailers and like talking to the publishers and stuff, it seemed like there's a lot of effort went into this.
Gotcha.
So.
Sorry, I'm tired.
No problem.
PS3.
Here we go.
007 Bloodstone.
Crap.
Do we have that in the office?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play that.
Okay. Oh, good. Yeah. Pass on Star Wars. Monster.
Jesus Christ.
6 by IGN, correct? That's what.
I thought it got a worse score.
Jesus Christ, that was loud.
You
Wasn't it?
scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it was either 6 or 5. I can't remember.
Fist of the North Star.
5.
Ken's Raid.
Yeah, I reviewed that on 360. My PS3 version just showed up. I gave it a 5 on 360. I doubt we're going to turn a corner on that one on PS3 because my complaints weren't that it ran poorly. It was just that it was not a very. It's just to beat 'em up. You're walking around a bunch of things. They all look the same. Textures aren't that good. It looks a little outdated.
Oh, wait, so it's like
Maybe I'll
story's not
take
told
that
that well.
home. I wonder how the trophies
Here,
are.
well, here's the interesting thing about this. I haven't checked the trophies yet. They weren't great for 360 by any means. However, there is a trophy or an achievement on 360, right? That's play the game for more than 30 hours, which sounds terrible. But when you go to the menu screen and you check your game clock, it runs.
Oh, yeah.
So if this is a gold trophy, this weekend I'm just going to leave it on underneath my desk and let it click there, and I'll come and I'll sign into PSN when I get home.
Won't you bump yourself? Oh, I guess you could still do that though, even though you bump yourself
I'm saying I won't be online. The PS3 I run at work won't be online,
right.
and then when I come in on Monday morning, I'll plug it in, sign in, and sync it.
I got
you
you.
little devil.
That's that's okay under the trophy clause, correct?
Yeah, that's
Anybody can do that, and I've played that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are certain things okay. Like we were talking about going on, playing Monopoly online, and we can help each other boost a little
boost
bit.
it,
Of
that's
it.
fine.
That's okay.
Okay.
You can also any way you can organically. I like using that word today. Organically get a trophy is totally fine. I don't
Just
care how
can't
you
mess
do it.
with saves. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Well, there's other things, but that's the main one.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry. Go on. We're getting off track.
I don't want us to quarrel again over the.
No, we
the
won't.
trophies.
We won't. We'll be fine.
I'm glad I was out of town for all that, man. That was during my Japan
When we signed
trip.
the we need to have a conversation about that too. Let's just do it now. We're a conversational podcast. Costume Quest was an interesting one because I wanted to play it really bad, right? Or not really bad, but I was in the mood for a Halloween game, and I didn't want to do Undead Nightmare at that moment. So I started playing Costume Quest. Steimer kept walking in the room. She reviewed it and would say, "Oh, if you take these ramps, you're gonna get a trophy." I was like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "You didn't know that?" I'm like, "No." Didn't check the trophies at all for Costume Quest the whole time I played it. Enjoyed that quite a bit. Force Unleashed 2. Didn't check the trophies at all. Just played it. I think I'm getting ready to back off the trophies.
Really?
Not that I don't want them. Not that I'm not a trophy whore. But I'm enjoying just playing games. And I'm sure like today I put in that terrible one. That's not terrible probably. It doesn't look that great.
Blood Drive?
Yes. And I looked through the trophies there before. But even with Fist of the North Star, I was playing on achievements, sure, but I didn't check it out right away. I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm ready for you to take it, Colin. I'm ready for you to take the overall arching mantle because it's a tough one to carry.
No, it is.
And I think
heavy is the head that wears the crown.
I think most people in the office would agree that you are the biggest trophy whore because you go home and ignore life.
Yeah, basically.
But I've been able to stay in front of you for the year now. You know what I mean? And that's all I wanted was a good year. And I
ignore life.
And I don't think anyone would question my dedication to trophies or my desire to be level 1,000,000.
No, I hear you. I mean, I'm kind of like I go through ebbs and flows where I'm like really really into like getting trophies and then like I kind of just play games for fun.
Yeah. I think I'm in one of those right now because you burned out at the trophy competition.
Yeah, I burned out.
And I never really lost that.
I burned down for like maybe a solid 4 months after that too.
I think I might just be winding down for the rest of the year. Maybe I don't know.
Can I paint a picture that I just saw in my head?
Yes, please
and
do.
this is a sad picture. I hope it doesn't come true, but if you go down this road, this is what's going to happen. I see an old man, wrinkled, weathered by time. All right, in a wheelchair, hands limp at his sides, IVs staining his otherwise delicate fingers. All right, he's sitting there.
He has
like
multiple IVs into his fingers.
Yes, like sorry, into the.
Okay.
First
Just
of
making
all,
sure I understand.
Fantastic language I'm using, and you totally ruined it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm
it's going in
sorry,
the
it
back
doesn't
of
make
his
any
hand.
sense. I don't want kids going home thinking that's how you do IVs.
So you can
I'm
put
dehydrated,
you
Mom.
can
Put them in my fingers.
You can put an IV into the back of your hand right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the back of your hand a finger?
No.
I love you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to spiral out of control.
Anyway, well now I had a momentum going.
I'm sorry.
The momentum was
weathered
going.
by time.
Yeah, weathered by time.
IVs into the center of his pupil.
So hands limp at his sides, head slightly tilted down, eyes cloudy. Right. A woman comes up next to him. Right, just an attendant, and holds a box in front of him. He's like, "Mr. Moriarty, Infamous 6 has been released. And then he like slowly looks up and he's like, how are the trophies? I've been told that it's an easy platinum, sir. Excellent. and then the camera slowly fades to black. Yeah.
And then I go to the bathroom and then I ask for a urinal sandwich.
What do you want on your urinal sandwich? What do you want on your sandwich?
No, I hear what you're saying. I'm not trying to get too out of control with it. I go through phases. Like when Mass Effect 2 comes out, I played the shit out of Mass Effect 2 on Xbox because I was writing the guide or whatever. I'm still gonna play and get a platinum for that game. And the only reason I'm playing it again is to get a platinum. So I understand that. But at the same time, Infamous 2 comes out, Killzone comes out. I'm never gonna get the platinum in Killzone 3, but I'm still gonna play it. Infamous 2, I'm certainly gonna chase the platinum, but I'm not even gonna worry about it. And I'm gonna play the game first through on my own, just like I did with Infamous.
Yeah.
So it depends. It really depends.
I enjoy that you and I are always in this trophy horde chase.
And I don't believe for I understand what you're saying, but I don't believe for a second you'll be out.
I'm never gonna be out. No. And I still enjoy trophies. I was very happy. I gained 6% last night by playing Force Unleashed and beating it and getting both endings. I was able to go, from 54 to 60% of level 16.
Nice.
Because I see you. I see you in my rearview mirror there.
I'm at 82%.
Yeah, I see you. I see you there. I'm hoping Sly Cooper comes in by the end of the week. I can do that this weekend. Play some help with that.
Sucks. I want Sly Cooper.
Colin, how old are you right now?
26.
26. All right, thank you. Go with the Roper report or the games.
Okay, yeah. So all right, we said 007. We said Fist of the North Star. Megamind. I wish it was Mega Man. Megamind Ultimate Showdown. Bakugan Battle Brawlers, Defenders of the Core. Didn't that come out last week?
I think it did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was on. I got this from the drop, so I don't know.
Well, you were still on PSP or PS3?
No, this is PS3 now.
Oh, okay.
Blood Drive.
Yeah.
Dragon.
That came in today, and I started playing it. Not as bad as I thought it'd be.
What is it?
You drive. It's like Twisted Metal, but you drive around, run over zombies for place and stuff.
For achievements.
No, well, that doesn't make any sense in terms of the game. Yeah, you run them over to
I hear you.
place.
I'm only busting. Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2, and the pick of the week: Get Fit with Mel B.
Actually, a pretty good fitness game from what I hear.
Yeah.
We've had it for a while, and of course, none of us are fitness people, so we haven't played it. But
do I not look fit to you?
I took it home to check the trophies.
I'm kind of a fitness person a little bit.
You want to? All right, you can review Melby. There you go.
Well,
Enjoy that. No, done.
No, have fun.
We're calling Damon right now.
okay. I mean, it's not gonna. It wouldn't get done right away. I'm backed
nothing's
up right
gonna
now.
get done. I know we're all backed up right now.
That's all she wrote.
Pick of the week. Oh no, we need to do what's on the drop. What's happened on the store? Give me the blog neck. Put
so
him in the face.
Here's what's interesting. I couldn't find an update on the blog for the most recent store update. It was really bizarre.
It was
the
there.
only thing I found was the PlayStation Plus update,
Okay.
but it didn't have everything in it.
Okay.
But,
Greg Miller will bring you what he knows.
Okay.
The Horde for sure has been released on PSN. That was the big game of the week. Then there was some DLC for Dead Rising. More like it's like the Ninja Pack, but it wasn't. Obviously, Rock Band, DJ Hero. We already done the PSN stuff. PlayStation Plus. Do you have that update? There was an update of that.
Yeah, I have PlayStation Plus stuff.
The biggest downloadable game was Horde. There was something else released though, downloadable. God of War games.
Oh yeah, God of War Collection's out.
Yeah.
Well. Yep. If you're a PlayStation Plus member, here's what's free for you this week. Shatter, as we discussed before.
Nope.
It's next week, I think, right?
You're reading what's coming up on
PlayStation Plus highlights for 11/16. Okay. Yep. So, for next week, here's what's coming up.
PlayStation Plus this week, what happened is God of War, you can buy the God of War games at a discount and get extra stuff for them. You can get a free Dead Nation theme, which I got. It's a moving hand. It's not terrible. And the free game is Abe's Odyssey along with Break Quest.
Right.
The mini. All right.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good memory.
What do you got? Or what's coming up soon? Give us a preview of the 16th.
For next week, Shatter.
2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Well, you know what? I give up. I'm done.
All right, fine. Save it for next week. Shatter. We already know. That's great.
Yeah, no. Just keep that on your. Keep that in your. I don't even know.
Pick of the week.
Ouch.
Let
Nothing.
me take a look here.
What about Horde? Horde's really good.
Oh, is it?
I haven't played it. I can't endorse that. What about Ghost of Sparta?
Ghost of Sparta is awesome. Thank you. There you go. There's your winner.
Whoops.
Game over, man.
I almost passed it
Game
completely.
over, man.
Actually,
We talk about too much on the show. I can't keep it all straight.
I think it should be Toy Story 3 on PlayStation 2.
No, you're wrong. It should not be. Okay. Thanks for trying, though.
No problem.
Trophy tips. Just a tip. Oh, we're going to start one off here with more of a trophy nod. It's not really a tip as much as anything. John Ledden writes in, and he says, a very easy platinum in V8 Superstars Racing, and it's cheap beyond. All right.
Easy, fast, beyond.
V8 Superstars Racing has an easy platinum, apparently. I have not checked the trophies or checked it out.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'll go on ps3trophies.org.
A few weeks ago, Jack was on here and said Burn Zombie Burn was easy trophies. A bunch of kids wrote in and said that is
No, that's not true
Jack's
at all.
crazy. Yeah.
That's not true because I actually got it because it's free and I played it. It's
Good game.
It's interesting. I don't.
Wait,
I think it's like not
Wasn't
great,
Walter
but-
the one that said Burn Zombie Burn was?
Yeah, it was Walter. I think that said
Whatever.
that.
They all run together if they're shorter than me.
But no, that's not even true at all.
Okay.
That I got like I don't know maybe 5 bronzes or something. When I was just
I don't
dicking
remember.
around
I
with
don't
it, but-
remember it being that easy. Force Unleashed, I got probably 18 to 20% of the trophies just playing through.
What else do you have to do,
Mostly
collectibles?
bronze. Challenges. A lot of challenges at the end that you unlock. You got to go through and do. And then there's certain stuff. If I had been paying attention while I played, I could have done more like push 10 guys into generators or do this, do that. But I didn't want to bog myself down. I just wanted to play.
Yeah, I understand that. Anything else?
That's the main stuff I've been doing. Fist of the North Star, not good for trophies. I feel you have to put a lot of time into that. Play as a lot of different people. Hopefully, there's a goal for that 30-hour thing. That'll be easy. So that's a good tip. You can just rent it. And I got 1 bronze to pop on Blood Drive before I came down here for the show.
Nice.
You got anything? You been playing anything?
I think Monopoly is good for trophies.
Yeah.
It's just the online. I said it in my review, like the online. How good online is going to be contingent on how many people are like really there to play it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't always even find a game. Sometimes I could, which is cool.
There's
and
leaderboards, right?
Wait, what?
Leaderboards, so like you can
Oh
see who's
yeah,
the
there
best
are
Monopoly player.
leaderboards for, and you can actually separate them by like weekly and overall and stuff.
Nice,
which is cool. But I got a friend of mine on my list to play with me, which was cool too. And so if you find people to play with, but you can, if you're into Monopoly, and I love Monopoly. Like you can. I think I'm up to like 62% or something like right
Nice.
now. You just get them for like owning all the railroads and owning utilities and like getting someone to pay $120, which is the
Could
max
you
rent on utilities.
theoretically do it where you have 4 controllers set up and get them all that way? Like I go and I don't let anyone else buy anything, and I just always wait till I get where I need to be.
Yeah, you could. You could.
Interesting.
But you couldn't get the online ones that way.
Yeah, obviously.
You have to win 10 online games, which I haven't gotten yet because I haven't played 10 online.
Are
games.
they ranked, or could we do it if we farmed them?
They could be ranked, but since no one plays them, I can just create the room and we can just be talking.
Okay.
You can join. And the 50 online auctions one is tough. Now, there's a version of the game, I think it's called Fast Dice or whatever, where every time a property's landed on, it's automatically auctioned. So we could play the game where you just agree that, or we agree that you win the game, you win all of the auctions. We'll do it over and over again until you get the silver for the 10 online wins and the gold for the 50 online auctions. Then we'll do it the other direction.
Gotcha.
Those are the 2 ones that are really hard to get. If you can get all of those, then the other ones you can really get on your own.
Cool.
You have to play an online game, win an online game, lose an online game, and et cetera and so on. But cool. There's one more. What else did I play recently? The Owl game is good if you want to. That game sucks, but if you want to dedicate the time to it, I'm sure you can get a healthy amount of trophies.
Cosmic Quest, again, that's a 4-hour game. You get 100% in. Easy to double back and get what you need.
Oh, you know what I did play? So I'm using Bromley's PS3 while my PS3 has been sent away to Foster City, and I was playing that NHL Arcade 3-on-3 game. Have you played that game?
Oh God, yeah, I tried to do it for the trophy horror. It's terrible.
It is awful, but the trophies are real. You get all the trophies in that game in 30 minutes.
I tried doing it for the war, and it was just so annoying. I was like,
It's tough. What you have to do is you have to have 4 controllers. For some reason, Bromley never plays his PlayStation 3. He has 4 PlayStation 3 controllers. So I just go in there and I just take his PlayStation 3 controllers. And you turn them all on. You play as one team. It's 3-on-3 plus a goalie. You turn on the controller for all the 3 other players so they don't move. So the only player that reacts is the goaltender. And then you just go about your business and get everything you need to do.
That's
that
interesting.
way.
I never thought to do that.
So you can do it that way. There's like a goal to like score a goal with every power up, which is like super easy. And then like a bunch of bronzes that are kind of derivatives of that. Like if you score 2 goals per game with each of the power ups, and then like check someone over the boards, win a game by 10 points, score 10 goals, and get a shutout. I think those are all of the ones. You can get them all like really in the same game if you're good enough.
All right, cool.
And hey, this is the best part. So people know
listening.
you could. The game ends in a different way if you are going to get a trophy. So you'll know because the trophies don't pop till after the game's over. If the game's over and then a jersey appears on the screen and it starts to like load, then you're going to start getting trophies. If it just goes right to the scoreboard, then you know you're not going to get the trophies.
Interesting.
So I recommend that one.
Okay.
To you as well as to the.
I might double back to do that then. What do you got?
This is probably my least favorite part of the podcast is anything trophy related.
I like it with Colin and I just sitting here.
Oh no,
talking shop. The kids seem like.
I'm glad it's good. I mean, it's good information for people that care about trophies.
I hear you. Let's move on to something you like then. Topic of the week, where we discuss a hot pressing issue, and today we're discussing nothing. This is the Little Big Planet 2 show. A Little Big Planet 2 show. Here's a beta code for you: 4E33RCNM55E2. the reason we're discussing nothing is that if people remember, forever ago, I went to a little show called PAX and met up with 2 folks from Media Molecule, 2 community managers, and talked shop with them about Little Big Planet 2 and how the community features were going to happen. I said I'd put it in a show a long time ago. We didn't have the tempo set right. Then Little Big Planet 2 got delayed. We said, where can we put this? Where will this interview live that would make sense? It makes sense to live on the Little Big Planet 2 show, everybody. So, without further ado, they've waited a long time to tell you about community features. James Spafford, Tom Kiss, community managers for Media Molecule.
Go!
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm sitting on the floor of PAX. Literally, there are no chairs anymore or beanbags around me. We are sitting on the ground, the filthy ground. But I'm joined by 2 special guests. Tom and James, community managers for Media Molecule. How are you, James?
I'm good, thanks.
Tom, yourself?
I'm awesome. I'm having a great PAX.
All right. Tom and James, I don't know your full story yet because I don't want to have it spoiled for me. But I hear that you guys lived the dream. You were nobodies out in the world, played Little Big Planet. They liked your work enough they hired you. Is that right?
That's a semi-truth. So we were in the industry before. We were at Molecule. We used to work together at NCSoft, but we really wanted to work at Media Molecule. So we set about with a mission. We thought that if we could get an interview there, it'd be really cool if we could go with something prepared. Like we could show them what we could do. So we built a fan site together. We started building a community of fans, and something that they didn't really have. Like there was no real Little Big Planet official site. There was no place to go to get news. There was no kind of official community.
Nowhere to go and beg people to heart you.
Yeah, well, I think there were some places you could go and beg for heart. There was some American stuff. There was definitely no European stuff, so there was just like marketing sites and stuff. So we used our powers, that we'd gone in the industry. I used to work in community and content writing, and Tom in graphic design and stuff.
Yeah, I used to be in creative services and build websites for games, and so teaming up outside of a proper work environment, like chilling out at each other's houses in the lounge, like building a website. Spaff's an awesome writer as well. Like I'm good at making websites, so it's a power team. And there was the community manager job advertised at Media Molecule. So we just kind of went for it.
So wait, they advertised the job, and you guys are like, we're here to interview. There's 2 of us, and we're not going. We're a package deal. You can't get rid of it.
Worked, yeah. So I went along and just told them what I could do on my own, but also told them what I could do if there was both of us there, and they kind of sold on that idea. So I think we ended up having about 4 interviews or something. Yeah. We kept having to go back and forth. One time we went up there to have an interview. The only person we had left to meet was Alex Evans, and he was ill, but no one had told us. So we turn up, he's not there. And so all the molecules were running around feeling a bit guilty because we lived quite far away, so we'd get up on the train. Yeah, they felt guilty that time. They made us record a podcast, which was really weird and unusable, so...
Oh, awesome. Well,
I want to let hear that.
Yeah. Well, now you're on Podcast Beyond, so you're making it happen. Don't worry. It's, the dream come true. So, how long did it take you to get this site up and running and, get to where you needed to be, to get in there, have them say, we can do this?
Yeah, I guess we didn't actually spend that long on the site. It was kind of a rolling thing. We kept updating it regularly, like the design and things. We got it. It probably took us like a week, 2 weeks to get something up and ready. And then
we was about 3 or 4 months in between putting the site live and getting on to the Molecule. We put it live just before Christmas sometime, and then we were at the Molecule by about April. So it was good timing. And I think because there was a whole... Sorry.
No. We worked like full time, flat out on it, didn't we? Like posting news every single day.
Yeah. So NCSoft had collapsed in half, so we were all kind of...
It went supernova and just exploded on itself.
So we had a lot of time on our hands and, put it to good use, basically.
So why Little Big Planet? I mean, why was that the game that spoke to you? Why is that what you wanted to get on with?
I don't know. It sang out. It's something about it it's the creativity that comes out of it. And I really love the fact that the community seemed to be a bunch of people who have to have this basic level of creativity. And even now, from my position now, I get to talk to them all. It's such a different gaming community. You can have a community around a game and a shooter or something, and it can be like a lot of testosterone and fury and stuff. But ours is like such a mixed bag of people. It's like youngsters and old folk and a lot of girls and just everyone.
Lots of girls, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So how are you guys doing it now? I mean, how are you harnessing the community for Little Big Planet 2?
Well, one of the things we did when we first joined Media Molecule is we went on and made a new LittleBigPlanet community site, littlebigplanet.com, a new site there, and so we're working on that at the moment to make sure that's full of all the information players want, and it's a great outlet for us to get news out to the community and talk about the new features of LittleBigPlanet 2. And we're working on the new community portal for the site as well, which is lbb.me. It's like the website that gives all the levels in the LittleBigPlanet community their own space on the web, and everyone has their own profile page, and it's a whole new way of sharing levels.
I'm super excited about that because I got to see a little bit of that, and like they're talking about how taking the little photo of the barcode, right, that you can link to your levels and show people your stuff. That's all gonna be live for day one, LittleBigPlanet 2?
Yeah, absolutely. It should be live before the game comes out as well. So because it's compatible with both LittleBigPlanet 1 and LittleBigPlanet 2, so players will be able to use it up until the launch of LittleBigPlanet 2 and beyond. And the QR code stuff you mentioned is really cool as well. Like every level having its own QR code, and then being able to load those levels, in the game with the QR code and the PlayStation Eye is just like a really great way. We're hoping players will print out the QR codes, and it's be a cool way to share levels in a physical form.
What do you think of QR codes?
I love QR codes. It's to say that the LVP.me is something we've been working on for a long time. When we got in there as the first thing, we were like, well, what you need to do is this kind of thing. They knew it, but they didn't really know
how to do it.
Nor did we, but we got there. The QR code stuff is a happy bonus. I think that was something that Alex and Paul were messing around with, and then we said, hey, you know what you can do with that? So it's cool. I'm hoping kids will trade the levels and stuff and playgrounds and things like that. Bring us QR codes.
I've already talked to you guys about my failed Ghostbusters level, but I did make a real one eventually, and it was very basic. If I can make an awesome one, I'm gonna get it and put it on my business cards, on the back of it, have it right there, and be able to show them that way.
You can link straight to your creator profile as well, so people can find all your levels. If you have a bunch.
All right. Now it's on me. I can't suck. It's all on me now. I gotta make sure I'm not terrible. We just saw the music creator, the sequencer. Yeah. That is rad. It blows my mind when you see LittleBigPlanet, because it can be so complicated if you want it to be, but the controls, you guys always make it so simple to jump into. Right now, are people's heads exploding at Media Molecule trying to figure this all out and get it out the door?
A lot of people's minds have been blown. I think we have a team of just absolute genius creators, and there's one guy actually talking to people that come from the community. There's a guy called John, and John came along and he just melted faces basically. Everyone's brains melt when John's around, but he was a builder all his life. He's about 24 or something. He's just working as a builder, and we found his levels on there, and they seemed really goddamn cool. And we invited him up, and he showed some stuff he hadn't published yet to Mark and Alex and the guys, and they basically just instantly hired him. You are hired. He's absolutely incredible, that guy.
Do you know his PSN name if people want to go look at his levels?
Yeah, it's Johnny, so JOHNEE. You can see his levels that he had before he was hired. They're a little bit old now, and then when you buy LittleBigPlanet 2, you'll be able to see his new levels. Yeah.
What about you? Are they ready? Is your face exploding when you see these levels?
Oh yeah, my face is constantly exploding. Working at Media Molecule is just amazing. We have this incredible team. We're surrounded by so many awesome people, and they're working so hard right now, flat out. And I'm looking forward to the time when I can see people like Anton relaxing after the game's out. Anton's our graphics programmers, and he's like this mega wizard of graphics code. Completely amazing. If there's anyone who melts my mind, it's probably Anton.
All right. So what do you? It's my show. What do you want? No, you can't add to that. We have one little thing. Oh, sure.
I was just going to say, we're in the other room. We have a bunch of creators from the community making stuff at the moment. You kind of miss them because they're on lunch.
Jerks.
It's the first time they've played it. Basically, it was yesterday. One guy's just made an awesome top-down car thing that you have to see. It's got skidding around corners with sound effects and smoke coming out the wheels and stuff like that. What are the other guys making?
Sean was kind of experimenting with just having a ball that rolls on a plane, which you tilt using the 6-axis.
Like Marble Madness kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly like that. And that was really cool. And he was just kind of fiddling around, seeing if he could do it. And
I love watching those guys. Yeah. So they're kind of the guys melding our brains now. So we've used the tools to a certain extent, but at work, and we have made what we've made, but we don't really know what the hell's going to happen.
You don't know what's going to happen when it gets to the public, right?
So like watching these people like trying to work out what's going on and build things, that's where it starts melting brains.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, so we're running out of time. Why should people be excited for Little Big Planet 2? James, you're first.
You should be excited for LittleBigPlanet 2 because now you can build anything you've ever wanted to build in your life, basically. Games, movies, music, it's all there.
And I'd say you should be excited for LittleBigPlanet 2 because you can play any of those games that the creators make. So,
even if you have no talent like Greg Miller, you can go out there and play cool stuff.
Absolutely.
The 3 million levels that already exist and the next 3 million that will surely exist soon.
My final question then. Why do you get mad when people yell at you, oh, fix the floaty controls? that makes me so angry for you. Not even that, because it's a question people ask me to ask you all the time, and it's like, that's how the game is. That's what Sackboy is. That's how he jumps. Get over it.
I'm of the school that I don't really have a problem with it, but a lot of people seem to. So I'm not mad at it, but you can actually change it in the game. We didn't change it because it has to be backwards compatible with everything we've ever made before, and it would screw it up. But using the combination of a Sackbot and a controlinator, you can remote control a robot that looks, for all purposes, exactly the same as the player. So they'll just think that they're their own Sackboy. But you can program it to behave in a completely different way. You could give it like mad anti-gravity jump, or you could just take the jump away completely if that's what you wanted to do. So if you think you can make a better jump, then go ahead.
And maybe you'll get hired. maybe that's how it'll pan out in the end.
Hey, that's a damn good Sackboy jump.
All right. Housekeeping one more time. Where do they need to go? Where do they need to go to be part of the community?
LittleBigPlanet.com right now.
Yeah, that's simple. That was easy. All right, fine. Now you gotta say beyond before I let you go.
Beyond.
Beyond. Man. PAX show floor was noisy. Sorry, I should have prefaced there's a lot of wind noise and crowd stuff, but you'll be fine. It's fine. You will enjoy it. It's them.
Interviewing on the mountain peaks of...
They enjoyed it. I'm sure kids enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was going to say they probably already enjoyed it.
I know. I'm
just
screwing it up.
No, that's fine.
I screwed it up. One more
hungry.
Little Big... okay, we're getting there.
No, I'm just saying I'm feeling hungry today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hungry for love?
No, just hungry for actual food.
Oh, okay.
But I'm always hungry.
Here's
for
another
love.
Little Big Planet 2 beta code before we move on. LBERE2N7DQJM. Now, let's check in with the readers.
Hi, readers.
Hey, readers. Reader mail.
Reader mail.
Mail call. Remember, if you want to be a part of Mail Call or Mailarchy, you can email us at beyond@ign.com, just like Cooper did. Cooper writes in and says, many people, like myself, often post on the Beyond episode pages with just a big Beyond. How do you feel about this? Do you think it's a waste of time and the comments section should be reserved for actual feedback, or do you like it?
Oh, you mean like all the spam?
Yeah, all the Aaron Jordans?
No, please write Beyond.
Write what you want.
No, that's what I want to see. I want to see kids who, listeners, adults, who enjoy the show going there and talking and stuff. When you have stuff, we always pop in and talk about it. Colin pops in and yells at people occasionally. We'll be doing that today, of course, because if you're still listening to this off of the iTunes or whatever, we're IGN.com. We want you to come to IGN.com. We're giving away 5 Little Big Planet 2 beta codes on the show today. There are 20 more on IGN.com on the Podcast Beyond article, which I'm sure the comments are now people screaming at us for not giving out more, and Colin having to wreck house.
Yeah, well, that's just the way it has to be. I think most people appreciated what I was doing in that comment thread, too.
Yeah, well, if you're reading the comments in that article, you're a Beyond fan. You understand how the show works.
And like I said, I wasn't even going to use my Killzone 3 code. I was going to give it away to someone, but then because everyone was just being douchebags, I just kept it.
Hey, Greg, I do have a quick question for you. Not to at all insinuate that I don't like how we run things here at Beyond, but I have a question. So a reader, I saw an email come in that says that a couple readers have really bad schedules on Thursdays. They can't actually listen to the podcast, and by the time they might be able to log into IGN, they can't get any of these codes.
Yeah.
And they were suggesting, is there any way that we can pick like an email out and send some random codes to people so they have a chance of getting something?
Yeah. Well,
nay, yay. What do we think about that?
That sucks. Yeah, I understand. You took it.
The master of compassion.
You
over
took
here.
it in a different direction because I have on my back page here, hose in different area codes.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of kids saying, "Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm from the UK. I'm from the Dominican Republic. You know, we're asleep when this stuff happens. Please stop screwing us over." And what I was going to say to them is, you know, TS, buddy. The problem is that these are, you know, U.S.
TS?
codes. Tough shit.
Oh.
These are U.S. codes. They wouldn't work in the Dominican
Gotta move
Republic.
to the United
most
States.
likely, it's a North America, you know, continental thing. Usually, if you're over in the UK, the codes we'd give you for games aren't the same because you're not. The PlayStation Store doesn't work that way.
Plus, they don't in England. They don't even use the English language like we.
I'm
use.
pretty sure they use chimneys
No.
and they shoot up them
Oh,
and get. I don't know. Everything I know is from Harry Potter. Or,
Oi!
Oi! That's in Australia. For the other kids, yeah, there's no easy way to give away the codes, sadly. There's no easy way for us to say, hey, thank you for being a listener, here's the codes, unless we got a bajillion and we said everybody send us something, which we can't do. You know what I mean? I still haven't sent out, from the 10 episodes ago was the 150th podcast. I'm trying to send out 10 shirt packages, and I still haven't done that. That's probably going to have to wait till Christmas break when I have time to think in the office, or December in general. So I don't know. What do you think, Clements? What's an easy way to do? How do we do this? How do we fix it? See, the problem is that...
All right. Yeah. How about this? People that if you want to be kind of considered for a random drawing, just send us in good questions, and then we'll save like 2 codes, and then from that week's questions, we already have email addresses. Just reply back with a code.
Okay.
Like sending in a question, which is good for us, is occasionally and randomly rewarded with a code.
That's not a bad idea.
And it's easy. All we have to do is copy paste a code and do a reply email.
I like
Well,
that.
also, do we have more more Little Big Planet codes than what you have written down?
Yeah, there's 5 here and there's 20 at my desk.
Okay. Well, we can take some. I mean, we can take some of those and just give them to people on Twitter or something too. I mean, I know people are against that, but we can just say like, answer this question, or you know, like you can say like, what's my favorite topping on a hot dog at Portillo's
But see,
or something.
that even requires more effort than my suggestion, which just gives them a random chance to win
But again,
something.
there's no easy way to do this because I'm sending somebody back and they're like, I hate Little Big Planet. You know what I mean?
Well, then we just
I don't
copy
think,
paste that code into somewhere else.
I like the email idea, but I think it should be randomized, and also people I understand not everyone syncs with our schedule, but I think
That's when the show airs. Kind of, you know what I
that's
mean?
kind of the
Like
way it
it's one of
is.
those things we want to drive up interest. We want you coming to IGN. We want you trying to be a part of the Beyond Nation.
just a suggestion.
I know. It breaks my heart. I wish I could just help everybody out, but
Yeah.
I can't. However, I do want to take to task Luca. Luca writes in, Dear Beyond, this email is mainly directed at Greg Miller. On a recent IGN podcast, Greg said that it's Apple's fault the IGN podcasts don't go up on iTunes until well after the podcasts go up on IGN.com. That is a lie. I produce multiple podcasts that are available through iTunes, and within a couple minutes after I go through the steps to put the podcast on iTunes, they're uploaded and available for download through Apple's wonderful service. For reference, these podcasts are free, just like IGN's, and are the same size too. Now that I've called you out, how about you fix this issue and get your podcast up on iTunes in a timely manner? The delay isn't due to Apple. It's due to something or someone at IGN. Maybe the person responsible for uploading IGN's podcast to iTunes is lazy. Maybe they're doing it in a way that's slower than my way. But whatever the matter, this should be rectified. I love the IGN podcast, but if I downloaded them through the site and upload them to iTunes, it won't get the podcast in the folder with audio content mixed up. Not to mention they're more complicated than having iTunes automatically download them. Cue crying sounds. Sorry to call you out like this, Greg, but it needed to be done. Look at your dick.
I was so ready for the
Seriously,
response.
dude. Like, we come here, we do a show for an hour, we talk video games, we love it, we love interacting, and somebody wants to come in and just be a complete ass in an email like that, all right? Here's how it works. I'm sorry, it's great that your podcast that you do can then immediately be uploaded to iTunes. I work for another website called IGN.com that I want you to come visit. I want you to come here. There's a whole automated process behind the scenes that some magic gnome grabs Podcast Beyond out of the gallery and uploads it. I have no idea how that happens.
There's no person. It's engineering.
It's all automated on our end because we're a website and my job isn't to go to iTunes and provide them with content.
Yeah.
Sorry. Come to IGN.com. Do not send jacassery to my Beyond at IGN inbox. Right, Colin?
Yeah.
Back me up. You hate it when people are mean.
Yeah, Beyond. If you don't like it, don't listen to the podcast.
It makes me so angry. All right. Let's get some Ryan questions. Here's a Ryan question.
What's up?
Chase Reynolds writes in.
Hi, Chase.
Do you think it might be possible that Square makes a Kingdom Hearts collection possibly containing Chain of Memories?
That's actually a really good idea, and because they love to capitalize on their franchises, I wouldn't doubt it. But I talk to Square Enix people all the time, and I've never heard of anything coming soon. So
No.
It's always possible. I mean, maybe something like if they ever release a Kingdom Hearts 3, maybe they'd package the old 2 PlayStation games like digitally or put them on like a Blu-ray if it came to PlayStation 3.
I just kicked the table. I didn't mess anything up.
Thank you for checking, but no, we're fine.
Okay.
Good. Colin, we got a question for you.
Oh.
Hogarth writes in. Insomniac told this to Game Informer. You'll notice that the St. Louis Gateway Arch appears in the background. This is Resistance 3, obviously. Those well-versed in history may wonder why there's an arch in 1957 when construction didn't start until 1963. To that, Insomniac says, quote, aliens didn't take over the world either, end quote. Besides, what other St. Louis iconic landmark can you think of?
Yeah, that's a cop-out.
So there, Colin. That's the truth behind the history of Resistance. You can finally sleep well at night.
That's a cop-out. I read that, and that's actually really disappointing.
Yeah.
Because that's a total
Oh, man,
cop-out.
yeah. You know what? The aliens are invading Earth. Well, let's get that arch put right through.
Yeah, like why? Like, all right, so this begs a couple interesting questions. A, if you wanted the city to be recognizable, and so you needed something for it to be recognized with, then why does it have to be St. Louis? And why did it have to be the Arch? I mean, there's other cities with other landmarks in the middle of the country that, would have made sense. Or you could just, tell people that it's St. Louis without having the Arch. Because what I really liked about it deviates from history, but the war started with the Chimera in like the 30s or 40s or whatever, which suggests that the Arch was built even before all that went down, because obviously we wouldn't start huge infrastructure projects like that. So it's just stupid. That's just dumb. So
you want other St. Louis, as somebody who, spent 6 years in Missouri, I can tell you a couple. The Budweiser Brewery, Busch Stadium. The Cardinals were playing back in the 60s, trust me. And then my best friend Kyle Hayes' apartment. Could put that in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was.
That's Kyle Hayes' apartment. Must be in St. Louis. Yeah, that was disappointing because I always defend the storytelling, and I think the storytelling is actually really good in Resistance, but that's a complete cop-out.
Agreed. Naveed writes in. Says, so I was looking through the videos for IGN's holiday guide when I came upon the PSP video. Holy crap. There I see Ryan Clements with his bright bleached mohawk, cool glasses, and crazy shirt. It was sensory overload for my eyes. So I just got to give mad props to Clements for the style and proclaim him the guy with the most swagger at IGN.
And the whitest guy at IGN.
I do not think that's true.
But yes, thank you. I saw that. I saw that email. That was super nice, and thank you. I appreciate that.
Here's some more compliments for you, brother. I watched all the Kinect video reviews. You have come so far in your VOs. You are superb. You are excellent on the mic when you read your VOs.
Wow.
It sounds natural. It's well done. We obviously read scripts in there. You sound supernatural.
Thank you very much.
Not supernatural like a ghost, but supernatural.
Supernatural.
You were excellent.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
I'm done. Now, sir, here comes some bad news. My name is Josh, and I'm an avid listener from the UK. I was just wondering why we have heard so little from Colin about the 100-match marathon on a Marvel vs. Capcom competition. I was hoping he'll hear tales of wondering. No, we did not. If listeners are just joining us, we did this thing called Extra Life, which is a 24-hour charity event. During it, Colin played Mark Ryan, a Marvel vs. Capcom expert, and Mark Ryan said, if you can beat me once out of 100 matches, you get my job. And Mark Ryan's Colin's boss.
Yeah.
Colin, how'd that go?
It didn't go well.
Are you Mark Ryan's boss now?
No,
okay.
I'm not. Yeah, he would have had to resign, and then I would have had to hire him back. I didn't expect it to go well. I mean, first of all, he wouldn't have gotten involved in something like this if he thought he was going to lose, and I clearly didn't think that I was going to win. There was a couple close matches because we were letting readers pick teams or whatever, but I'm not. I'm awful at the game, and he's like really good, and he's very humble about how good he thinks he is or whatever. So he's a lot better than he even says he is. But I tried and I failed. I mean, that's just the way it goes. But it was for charity.
You were, and which is great, and I'm glad you did it anyway, and you were, you're a good sport about it. But you seemed like you were confident that the numbers would come through for you.
It's law of averages.
You were. I mean, not to call you out, but I'm saying you were confident.
I should be called out on that. I mean, because that was really the only pathway to victory.
Right.
Was to rely on the law of averages, which is that is a law, and things do happen. I'm a really good chess player. Like if I played chess against someone who is really bad at chess and I played them 100 times, I'd probably lose a game because that's just the way it goes. So I don't know.
All right.
Whatever.
So
it was disappointing.
You suck.
Disappointing, but I actually kind of was. I agree. I had agreed with you before going in. Like he has to make a mistake at some point.
He did make mistakes, but you have to chain the mistakes and take advantage of them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, there were a few where he said he was nervous. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
I wish we were a video podcast because Colin's leaning back and like looking out the window, not acknowledging me. Clements is just replaying all 100 matches in his head. Where he went wrong when he should have thrown a fireball or not been a Lego man.
That's just the way it goes.
Not been a Lego man. I always make that mistake. I'm always the Lego man.
We haven't talked about this. I have had some scares recently.
Oh?
I was playing my video games the other day on my PS3 there, playing the Red Deads, enjoying quite a bit. All of a sudden, I'm like, what the hell is that noise? Pause the game, go over. My PS3 is a jet engine all of a sudden. Just loud as hell. I panic. I turn it off, save, rip it out, and I went and grabbed my can of compressed air, blew through it, put it back in, stopped making a noise. Hasn't made a noise since. So it was scary for a while. Hopefully it was just some dog hair in there. I got it out of the way. Still terrifying. It reminded me that I need to get a external hard drive, back up all my stuff there because I keep all my music and pictures on there. Anything happens, I'm screwed. Benny Nitro read about this on Twitter or my IGN, I'm guessing, and wrote in. Could Greg Miller please explain the compressed air trick? It's not really a trick. You can buy compressed air that you blow things out your keyboard with. It comes with a little hose, looks like WD-40. I have a can of this that, you unplug it and you just blow through the vents to get dust out of there. It blows it right back out the PS3 out one of the sides. Cools it down. Because usually when something starts overheating, that's when the noise kicks up, unless the hard drive's failing or something. The easiest way to do that is get all the junk out there because those things will clog really easily. Mine's in a TV stand, but it's very low to the floor, which means dog hair, dust, that's always getting kicked up around it. So that's the easiest way to keep that up and running. Oh, another one here.
I gotta clean my stuff too.
I should have thought of that before I sent mine in. Maybe that was the problem. With mine.
No, yours. Well,
you saw with your own eyes. I mean, how bad it was.
Yeah,
the PS3
exactly. Yeah. Final question for this week. It's from Daryl. Hopefully from the office. He says, "Hey, Beyond Crew, I'm an OCD type of person, and I love the podcast. Just started listening at episode 158 and fell in love. So much so that I went back and downloaded all of the episodes that were still available on iTunes, which only went back to 140-something. I'm now listening to episode 151, and I'm almost caught up. I know it will have old news, and you guys are awesome, though, but I want to know, how do I start at episode 1? Of course, you could Google... Podcast Beyond, Episode 1, IGN. You'd find us there, and then you'd have to do that for every one of them. However, some fans out there took it upon themselves to archive GameScoop and Beyond. If you go to people.ign.com/beyondarchives, you'll find every podcast we've ever done inserted into one blog post. So you could just go from the hyperlinks there. It started with a guy who did it for GameScoop, and then another fan thought it was a great idea and did it for us. And we never properly thanked him, and I don't have his name. So thank you, Beyond Archives. That's the easiest way to do it outside of searching manually, because they're all on IGN, but there's no easy way to find them. This is the easiest way to do it. People.ign.com/beyondarchives. While you're there, start your own My IGN page. Start following me. I'm Greggy-IGN. Ryan is.
Wait, what?
On my IGN, what's your username?
Clements-IGN.
Colin?
Yeah, Moriarty-IGN.
There you go. You can find us all at people.ign.com/whatever our name is.
Hey, real quick, just something I was thinking about too. I didn't ask you about this beforehand, so I'm kind of throwing this at you. But,
good, I like that.
But
keep me on my toes.
We
Fast as a
have
cat.
fans that I think want to create or have already created both Podcast Beyond Facebook pages and a Podcast Beyond Twitter. All right?
There is a Podcast Beyond Twitter now, but I follow it, but...
I just don't know. Should we? I guess what I want to ask you and Clements and also the listeners is should we consolidate something into a Podcast Beyond Twitter that either we let a fan take care of or that we take care of, and or do we do it on Facebook as well? Because we really don't have a presence anywhere. As far like an official presence.
We're a bunch of individuals.
Exactly.
You can follow us individually on Twitter, Facebook, on my IGN.
Is that the way we want to keep it, or do we want to? Because I don't mind doing it that way. I like interacting with people, but
Girl Fight has their own Twitter where they have their own IGN Girl Fight Twitter and they can communicate, post things there. We're all really good. The thing about it sucks, and it'd be great to be able to group it together, and you can form lists. You could have a list of us, and that makes a user do the end work, right?
Right.
The problem is that you figure right now, it's individuals, it's easy to target stuff. People know you like politics, they talk to you about politics. I get a SmackDown question. Clements gets RPG stuff. If you put it all in together, then I've got to, hey, Colin, check the Twitter. They're asking about who Dukakis is.
Oh, Michael Dukakis. He taught at my school.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he ran for president in 1988.
Yeah, I remember that part. I don't care. It's one. We can let listeners decide. You can do it too.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if anyone has any strong feelings on it at all, I guess just let us know.
Listeners, do you feel it's too hard to follow us or communicate with us through Twitter?
Yeah.
Stop. stop Facebook messaging me. I've asked you nicely. I'm telling you now.
Oh yeah,
never check that.
I'm up through like the second week of October with returning messages on Facebook, so I'm doing the best I can. Also, people have been complaining. We've gotten a complaint emails about people complaining about political things on this podcast.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to say that I don't bring them up.
I always ask you.
Yeah, so like I just don't want people to get mad at me. Like I don't bring that shit up. So don't get mad at me.
Here's how it boils down for Greg Miller's perspective. Podcast Beyond, conversational podcast.
I love how you always, whenever we say Podcast Beyond now, it's always conversational podcast.
I'm gonna make a new sign.
America's most conversational podcast.
See, we would win for sure.
I like it because I think we're all personalities, right? Like that's why I would hope listen. I mean, I'm sure you can get. There's a million podcasts out there about video games. You can get your news anywhere. We let our personalities through. I love listening to Colin talk about politics. I rarely agree with, and I don't always agree with him, I should say. And not to mention, every time he talks, scares the living crap out of me. God, you'd think it's about to go dark, EMP blast, and it's over. You know what I mean?
It's like Homefront.
Scares me to death, but I love hearing him talk because he's so passionate about it. You know what I mean? Like the same way when I started talking
passion
about
is what it's all about.
Superboy or something. Yeah, you guys gloss over, but there's somebody out there connecting with it.
I
don't
agree.
gloss
I just don't want people to get mad at me or you. I obviously don't mean to offend anyone. I just that's just what I do. I mean, gaming, history, and politics are like my 3 favorite things in the world.
I think we keep it in check. I try when we do bring it up to not let it get out of control and take over a whole show. So just bear with us for the 3.5 minutes that Colin wants to talk about leverage pay scale for union employees. And we'll be all right. That's it for Reader Mail. Let's give away these final 2 codes. Remember, if you want more Little Big Planet 2 beta codes, they're probably gone by now, but you should be checking IGN.com every time we post Podcast Beyond because that's where we embed a lot of stuff. Here's your final 2 codes though: RA8L 8NN7 P293 2N59 JD NT 2G JF.
You sounded like Mr. Echo from Lost for a second.
I missed him.
Gimme.
Those were the days. Also, we have a Patapon 2 code from Patrick, so you should totally get this one. 27AA GTBPMM4B. Someone wrote in the other day, and I'm sure whatever, and they were like, I sent in a code, never got read. WTF Podcast Beyond, and he said, I know you're probably busy, so it's no big deal. That's basically what happens. We talked about it before. I print off usually about 4 pages of questions and put codes in there, and I usually get through maybe, if you were to combine them all, I get through a page of the questions I made. So that's your problem, is that it just gets so buried in there that we can't do them all, and you don't want to sit here at the end of the show and read off numbers. So I'm sorry if I haven't read one of your codes. Email them back to me though, because I throw this away at the end of the show and then it's gone. Yep. But then again, you're just missing out on a 2012 rental. Thanks for trying. It's no big deal.
Who doesn't like Hellboy 2? That was still one of my favorites.
Remember, to be a part of Podcast Beyond, email us at beyond@ign.com. Follow us on Twitter at IGN. Follow me at GameOverGreggy. Ryan, for a little bit, at Palm Cider. Who knows what's going to happen there? Colin at No Taxation. You can find us all on the Facebook. Please go to my IGN as well, IGN.com. Then up in the right, click on Join My IGN. It's a free thing. It looks like Twitter. Pretty soon you can post your Twitters right to my
Your twits?
Yeah. So good stuff. Be our friends. Come be our fans. By listening, you are a member of the Podcast Beyond family and PlayStation Nation. We love you. Even when we yell at you on the show, we still love you. Ryan?
Yes.
Lead me home.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to skip Hit of the Week because we're running out of time.
Good show. See you later.
No, we still have a song.
Kidding.
I have a few personal notes.
Okay, good.
I take our songs very seriously because I like music. Who doesn't, though, really, is ultimately, as Kill Bill, the character Bill once said, aren't we all music fans? But I'm very proud of our Podcast Beyond listeners because it amazes me how talented some of these people are. And I wanted to take a moment and genuinely extend like a sincere thank you to the people that like send us in this music, and it really amazes me. Like
cool.
I will never be able to make music like that. I do not have that talent. So that is truly amazing. Anyone, even if you don't hear your song on the show, I have probably still listened to it and maybe just didn't have time to play it. It's amazing stuff. I also want to make a note. We got an email from old contributor Jared Clark who has sang many a good songs for us. He was saying that he was having trouble submitting stuff. It wasn't letting him send emails with attachments. Yeah. Nothing has changed on our end. So, Jared, if you're still having this problem, just I guess pass one of us a note, unless Greg
Here's what I'll do. I'll test it today and send something. Maybe it's just one of those things where our mailbox is too full.
Okay.
Maybe it's gotten to that size limit, and if so, I'll run through and delete a bunch of stuff and try to clean up space.
Cool. Anyway, we have gotten tons of submissions ever since I made the call out, and I was like, people, we really need some songs. Help. I've gotten a lot of great submissions. Good. So, here is from the case file of the It's So Good, I Can't Believe This is actually from some video game listener. So, we'll see. But anyway, this comes from Chris. Chris writes, hey guys, Beyond. I sent the song to you a while ago and didn't get a chance to play it. Heard Ryan say that there has been a shortage. So, to close out the podcast recently, he thought he would send this in. This is my band Record Department. We are based in London. And here's our MySpace. It is myspace.com/recorddept, like the abbreviation for department. Record Dept. The song is called Decisions. I hope you get a chance to play it. I listen to Podcast Beyond every week and would be so proud and happy to be a part of it. Greg, Ryan, Colin, that's in no particular order. Please don't stop beyonding anytime soon. Thank you for your time and beyond. Great email. Very nice. Thank you, Chris.
That was nice.
This was also, if this is in fact your band, because I always have a hard time imagining how talented these people can get. Awesome. So fun. I love hearing bands from the UK, because the UK has some cool music. This is Decisions by Record Department, and this is Beyond.
Beyond.
We've been hopping on, but no one's listening. It's got to be now.